Howdy, my name is Andrew Shank. We're with the Working Pastor blog, found on the World Wide Web, workingpastor.blogspot.com. And more than likely, you're viewing this video as a result of clicking a link in one of our posts, and we're glad that you chose to take time to listen and to watch this video, and we're thrilled that you've done that. I want to just kind of amplify a thing or two here about the undermining of pastors. Boy, here in America, and I've never been to a foreign country as a pastor, so I can't really speak on behalf of what it's like overseas necessarily, but here in the United States, in the Southeast, where I'm located right now, there are literally fundamental Baptist churches scattered all over the Southeast. And, you can't hardly go into some towns, without standing on the doorstep of one church, and you can throw a rock from the doorstep of that church to another church down the street. And but anyhow, there are churches everywhere. But I find that no matter where you go, there's one growing trend among fundamental churches, and that is the undermining of pastors. And some people are doing it and have no conception, or they cannot conceive that they are doing it, but they are. There's so many ways that you can do that, and of course our post talks about some of those things, but I just want to kind of speak in a general way just for a moment, and that is this. We need to be sure that when we reference our pastor, whenever we speak about him in connection with an event or a subject, that we do not leave the impression upon the hearers that we're gossiping, or that we are we don't like our pastor. If you don't like your pastor, don't talk about it. Find somewhere else to go if you think that that's what God wants you to do. However, pastors are often misunderstood. They're misrepresented. Their words, are distorted. I mean, how many times I've preached as pastor before, and I've preached a message, and in the last several years, I kind of keep to an outline, an extended outline, and I typically don't make too many more statements off the cuff unless I've written them down ahead of time. I may amplify what I say, but as far as making a real concise statement, most of the time I do not venture too far away because I want to stay on target. But as I say that, I know numerous times people have heard something differently than what I said. And they can go back and listen to the audio recording of the message, and they'll not find in that message anywhere any hint of what they think I said. And so I'm telling you, people sometimes they go off and say, "Did you hear what the pastor said?" Well, the pastor didn't say that. They thought he said that. They heard maybe what they wanted to hear, and yet they've undermined the pastor. You can undermine the pastor in so many ways. You can gossip, you can lie, you can misrepresent his goals, his mission, his family. You don't have to come out and tell a just big, huge lie about your pastor and undermine it. You can hint at things. You can shade things. You can say things. And I'm going to tell you something. Pastors are being hurt. Pastors are being they're being so hurt by not only what the people in the church might be saying, but people in the community. It's amazing how that when you start something, and how when it comes back to you, it's not what you said. It goes into this person, and this person regurgitates it this way, then this way, and before long, what you said is not what comes back to you. So we've got to be careful we don't undermine the pastor. Pastors have a tough job. Again, they're misrepresented a lot of times. They're misunderstood. God calls a man to a particular work, and then he uses that man to grow that work. And either God has called you to pastor, or he has called you to help a pastor pastor. And so let's keep that in mind. Let's don't be guilty of undermining God's man. After all, if the shoe was on the other foot, if you were the pastor, how would you want people to treat you? please remember that before you open your mouth and speak poorly about your pastor. Again, thank you for taking a moment to listen, and feel free to share any comments on our blog post or here on YouTube. Either way, we would love to hear from you and see what you have to say about this topic. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.